In this video, the following topics are covered: flag bits and PSW register continuation, then 8051 register banks and stack, and internal memory organization of 8051. So we will see some examples to check the status of carry, auxiliary carry and parity flag in the PSW register. So first example, show the status of carry, auxiliary carry and parity flag after the addition of 38H and 2FH in the following instructions. Move A, 38H, add A, 2FH. So this code is adding the value 38H with 2FH and storing it in A. So the addition of 38 and 2F results in 67H. So there is no carry generated after the addition, therefore carry flag is 0. So from D7 bit there is no carry generated. Whereas from D3 bit there is carry generated to D4 bit, so auxiliary carry flag is 1. And in the result 67 binary representation, number of ones is 5, that is odd number of ones. Therefore parity flag is 1. Another example to check the status of carry, auxiliary carry and parity flag, that is addition of 9CH and 64H. The code is move A, 9CH, add A, 64H. The addition of 9C and 64H results in 100H. By seeing the result, we can see there is a carry generated from D7 bit. Hence carry flag is set to 1. And similarly, from D3 bit there is a carry generated to D4 bit. Therefore auxiliary carry flag is 1. And in the result there is no ones. Therefore parity flag is set to 0. One more example, addition of 88H and 93H. The code is move A, 88H, add A, 93H. The addition of 88 and 93 results in 11B. So there is carry generated from D7 bit, hence carry flag is set to 1. And from D3 bit to D4 bit there is no carry generated, hence auxiliary carry flag is 0. And the result, there are 4 number of ones, hence parity flag is 0. Next is register banks and stack. In this figure we can see the RAM allocation in 8051. So the memory allocated is from 00H to 7FH. So in detail we'll study about the RAM allocation in the coming slides. There are 128 bytes of RAM in 8051 and the address assigned is from 00H to 7FH. These 128 bytes, they are divided into 3 different groups. A total of 32 bytes from location 00H to 1FH. It is set aside for register banks and stack. So 4 register banks are there, each of 8 bytes. And next is total of 16 bytes from locations 20H to 2FH, which is set aside for bit addressable read-write memory. And the next set of 80 bytes from locations 30H to 7FH, it is used for read-write storage called scratchpad memory. The 32 bytes, they are divided into 4 banks of registers. In each bank there are 8 registers named as R0 to R7. So RAM location from 00H to 07H, it is set aside for bank 0, where R0 of bank 0 is RAM location 0 and R1 is in RAM location 01, R2 in RAM location 02 and so on until memory location 07 belongs to R7 of bank 0. Similarly, RAM location from 08H to 0FH, it is set aside for bank 1. Here R0 of bank 1, it is in location 08, R1 is in 09, R2 in 0A and so on until memory location 0FH belongs to R7 of bank 1 register. Register bank 0, it is the default register when 8051 is power up. We can switch to the other banks by the use of PSW register. So this shows the register banks and their RAM address. So there are 4 banks, each of 8 registers. So the addresses for each bank is shown in the figure. Next is stack. The stack, it is a section of RAM used by the CPU to store information temporarily. The information can be data or address. The register which is used to access the stack, it is called stack pointer register. The stack pointer, it is 8-bit wide, means it can take value from 00H to FFH. When the 8051 is powered up, the stack pointer register contains the value 07. RAM location 08H is the first location used by the stack in 8051. Next we'll see the operations on stack. That is, first, push operation. The storing of CPU register in the stack is called push operation. The stack pointer register will be pointing to the last used location of the stack. As the data is pushed to the stack, the SP value will be incremented by 1. Let us see a code snippet to illustrate the push operation. Move R6, 25H, move R1, 12H, move R4, 0F3H, push 6, push 1, push 4. Push 6 means the content of register R6 will be pushed to the stack. Push 1, the content of register R1 will be moved to the stack. Push 4 means the content of register R4 will be moved to the stack. Initially, the stack pointer register will be pointing to the location 07H, means SP will be having the value 07, and the values in 08, 09, 0A, 0B is as shown in the figure. So now, after the first 3 lines of code is executed, we have the push 6 instruction to be executed. When that instruction gets executed, the SP will be now pointing to the location 08H, that is SP equal to 08, and push 6 operation will result in the value of R6, that is value in the register R6, that is 25H, to be moved to the location 08, which is currently pointed by the stack pointer. So in the location 08H, we'll get the value 25H, which is the content in register R6. After the push 6, next we have the push 1 instruction. So the stack pointer will be incremented by 1, and now it will be having the value 09, means the stack pointer will be pointing to the location 09. Now push 1 means the content of register R1 should be moved to the stack, that is 12H should be moved to the stack. So stack is currently pointing to the location 09, so 12H will be moved to the location 09, and now the stack pointer will get incremented by 1, so it will be having the value 0A, that is it will be now pointing to the location 0AH. Now push 4 means the content of register R4, that is 0F3H, will be moved to the location which is currently pointed by the stack pointer. So F3H will be moved to the location 0AH. This way the content is moved to the stack from the registers, and the stack pointer register value will be incremented. After the code is executed, the stack pointer will be currently incremented, and it will be pointing to the location 0BH for the next set of instructions which will be executed. Next is pop operation. Loading the contents of the stack back to the CPU register is called pop operation. With every pop operation, the top byte of the stack will be copied to the register which is specified by the pop instruction, and the stack pointer will be decremented by 1. Let us see an example to illustrate the pop operation. Pop 3, pop 5, pop 2. So pop 3 means the content of stack will be copied to the register R3. Pop 5 means content of stack will be copied to register R5. Pop 2 means content of stack will be copied to register R2. So the stack pointer will be now currently pointing to 0B location. So we have the values in the locations 08, 09, 0A, 0B. Now after pop 3 instruction, the SP value will be decremented by 1. So it will be currently pointing to 0A. So the value in 0A, that is F9, will be popped and it will be stored in R3. Next, SP will be decremented by 1. So it will now have the value 09. That is SP will be pointing to 09 location. So pop5 means the value in 09, that is 76, will be copied to register R5. Again, SP is decremented by 1. So it will be now pointing to 08 location. So pop2 means the content in 08 location, which is pointed by the stack pointer 6C, will be copied to register R2. This is how the operation on stack is performed. In 8051 RAM, locations 08H to 1FH is used for the stack. We can also change the stack pointer to point to other RAM location by using the instruction move sp, #xx, where xx will be the new address or RAM location. The CPU is using the stack to save the address of the instruction just below the call instruction, so that the CPU will know where to resume when it returns from the called subroutine. So when there is a call to a subroutine, the CPU has to return back to the main program. So the instruction after the call instruction, its address will be stored temporarily in the stack, so that after the subroutine is executed, the program execution can resume in the main program. The reason of incrementing the stack pointer after push instruction is to make sure that the stack is growing towards the RAM location 7FH from lower to upper address. Also to ensure that the stack will not reach the bottom of the RAM and run out of stack space. If the stack pointer was decremented after the push instruction, then the RAM locations 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 would be used, which belongs to registers R7 to R0 of bank 0. When 8051 is powered up, register bank 1 and stack will be using the same memory space. So we can reallocate another section of RAM to the stack using the instruction move sp #xx. Next is internal memory organization of 8051. A computer must have program memory for program code bytes, that is ROM, and RAM memory for variable data which can be altered as the program runs. The 8051 has internal RAM and ROM memory for these functions. Also, additional memory, it can be added externally using suitable circuits. The 8051 has Harvard architecture, which uses the same address in different memories for program code and data, unlike other microcontrollers which use von Neumann architecture. Internal circuit accesses the correct memory based upon the nature of the operation in progress. This shows the internal memory organization of 8051. We have the working registers, that is 4 banks, total of 8 register each. So 32 registers, and then we have the bit addressable memory, and then we have the general purpose memory. Thank you.